2,500 years ago, the Jetavana monastery served as the primary residence for the Buddha and his followers. These brick foundations once supported a thriving center for spiritual practice. One night, a respected monk named Thera Kakupala was practicing walking meditation. Kakupala was elderly and completely blind, moving slowly through the darkness. But when the sun rose, visiting monks discovered a trail of crushed, dead insects covering Kakupala's meditation path. The monks were bound by a vow to never take the life of any living creature. To them, this was a sign of a grave moral failure by someone they believed to be a holy man. This creates a challenge to the basic understanding of cause and effect, if every action results in a consequence. So what exactly is the karmic penalty for a man who takes a life because he cannot see his victims? The monks brought their findings to the Buddha and demanded an explanation for the dead insects. The Buddha responded with a question. Had any of them actually witnessed the monk killing the insects? They admitted they had not. The Buddha explained that just as the monks had not seen Kakupala kill, the blind monk had not seen the living creatures beneath his feet. This illustrates chaitana, or volition. A physical act has no moral weight on its own. Karma requires mental intention. Kakupala was an enlightened being free of malice. Because the intention to harm was absent, his actions carried no karmic penalty. Accidental harm does not generate karma. The mind is the only factor that determines the moral outcome of an act. But a deeper mystery remains. If Kakupala was a holy, enlightened man, why was he blind in the first place? The Buddha traced the cause back centuries, to a previous existence where the monk lived as a skilled physician. During that life, a woman with failing eyesight approached the physician for help. She promised that if he cured her, she and her children would become his servants for life. The physician provided a potent ointment that worked perfectly. Within a short time, the woman's sight was restored. However, the woman feared the reality of her promise. To avoid becoming a servant, she lied to the physician, claiming her eyes were actually getting worse. This deception set a cycle of suffering in motion, not for the patient, but for the physician, whose choice in that moment would span lifetimes. The physician knew he was cheated. In his anger, he took a calculated, malicious revenge. He prescribed a second ointment, this time containing ingredients specifically designed to destroy her vision permanently. This choice was the direct opposite of the accidental deaths at the monastery. Blinding the woman was a conscious, deliberate act of cruelty. As a result of this single intent, the physician lost his own sight repeatedly in his following lives, eventually leading to his final birth as the blind monk. Though Kakupala physically caused the insects' deaths, he was mentally innocent and free of new karma. His blindness, however, was the delayed result of that earlier deliberate intent. This teaching is recorded in the Dhammapada. The opening verse states, "All mental phenomena have mind as their forerunner. They are mind-made." It warns that acting with a corrupted mind brings suffering, just as the wheel follows the hoofprint of the ox. Once the mind takes a step, the heavy wheel of consequence locks into that path. The result is unyielding and follows every move the mind makes. This indicates that karma is not a record of physical accidents. It is a reflection of our psychological intent, suggesting that our own minds are the primary architects of the lives we inhabit.